So here we are, Mount Alexander, beautiful little spot here. There we go, Mount Alexander, doing a review on our camper. Okay, from the back of the unit, as you can see, it's got one spare, beautiful. It's got two possible, and I was told, designed for retrieval points. So we have our outside shower. Turn the water on. Comes right out. Fair whack, as you can see, and it works. Overall, we've got 170 litres of water on board. So here we go. You got your water filling taps over here, right? You got one here, you got another one here. You got your 240 volt in, right? And which is pretty standard. You got your gas hot water unit, right? And you've got here, you got a little area to put things in, right? That's practically as long as the camper is wide, except for about 20 centimeters, because you've got the fuse panel behind it on the other side. I'll show you later on. And then over here you've got your gas cylinder drawer. That's the cover for the which I like to keep in there. That's the cover for the hot water service. As you can see, it accommodates for 2 bottles, not really for the big one. In here you've got your area where we keep some tools and everything else in there. It is still lockable. These latches, as you can see, are lockable, so that's not a problem. Over here we have our fridge with a little fan, and of course your fridge. This fridge came with the camper. It's a Mike Hallman. It's got Bluetooth, don't use it. It's got your normal readouts on the right side straight away, not on the side. So when I open the door, I can see it. I reckon that's a brilliant feature. And yes, I'm going through the brilliant stuff at the moment. I love this, right? The way that's designed and everything else. It's got a bottle opener on the Mike Hallman as well, which I find useless because mine are all twist top. But anyway, that's okay. So we've got that there. Then we've got the main power panel with the water tanks and the grey water tank gauges. Batteries are currently at 13.2. The fridge is on. Everything is on at the moment, drawing 0.7 of an amp at the moment. So yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. And then we have here our kitchen. Our kitchen just slides out. So I'm going to need both hands. So if you want to hold the camera for a second, can you just hold the camera for a sec? Can you just? There's no one there. Okay, hang on one moment. Kitchen. Unfortunately, I didn't leave myself a lot of room here. Luckily, no damage. With the stove. It's got wind guards as well, and a 4-pit stove. It's got your water. But of course, you've got to hook up everything as you go along. You've got your gas underneath, you've got your water, hot water, cold water, goes in there. So that's your kitchen. It slides out like that. Unfortunately, here in the driveway, we don't have a lot of room, so you're going to have to bear with me. In there, of course, you've got your compartment of your hoses, and over here, you've got a bit of room in the drawer. Small hoses, but you can keep your utensils there and that. And that's basically your kitchen. Very straightforward, very easy, very comfortable to use, I would say. Now, we haven't used the kitchen as yet. We will. I reckon the next trip we will use the kitchen. So you just close her up, because we'd be using portable gas stoves and that. So then over here you got just a little hook there to hold that in. It seems to hold it into place. I'm thinking couple of times it might have come loose in the travel, so I'm not too sure whether that is going to be a problem later on, because if it bangs around it's going to damage the paint sooner or later. A double door, right, so you got your fly screen and everything else. You've got your electric step. Right, step, and then in here you've got your toilet cassette. Then all round we've got lights to go all round, I'll show you in a second. And then we've also got a light here, which is a blue light on the handle. So that's the double door. Right, so now we've got a light there. One for the kitchen area. One for up here. Right, lighting up the whole area at night. It's got one at the back as well, and it's got one on the other side as well, so when you are having a shower or whatever, you've got one on the other side here. So yeah, the windows, like I already explained, they're very awesome. I love how the fly screen actually works like that. You can, you know, have it partially. I don't know if you can do it from the outside. No, not really. Yeah, you can sort of. You can have it partially and all that. You just have sun's pelting on it, so you don't really want that, so it's fine. Or you have some fresh air coming in. So and you can also, oh, you're outside and it's raining, just close it up or whatever, you know. It's got some great features, and then it's got some really sad ones that I've noticed. So before we go to the inside of it and explain a few things, we're going to go and point out that those latches, and I'd like you to watch this video. Then, as you can see on that video, it is poorly designed. Those latches should be upside down, because now you've got to clip them every time. You've got to muck around, and instead of just undoing them and letting them drop down, you've got to hold them up, because otherwise when you try and move the roof up, one of them could catch on the little, catch off the clip, if you know what I mean. Also found that the rubber on these clips is burning from the hot sun, right? I don't know why. The heat's getting to them. We have in here, we have this fan, and this fan for the fridge goes on, and after a little while it all of a sudden becomes intermittent. So as you can see, that's not the greatest. Get back to that. The awning, you can open up electrically. So that's pretty much everything on the outside. So like I said, there's a little bit, the intermittent fan was an issue. Gone to Stoney Creek about that, right? They're sending me out a replacement. They did the same with the TV antenna. The TV antenna up top was not working at all, right? I put power to it, and for those that know me, I'm pretty well electronically minded, and I checked for the power and everything else, and it just wasn't getting any to the antenna. I even at the end, once I dismantled the old unit and put the new one on, because Stoney Creek, no worries about the service, definitely good service, sent me out a new one, didn't even query it, I hooked it up, it's working, beautiful, fantastic. The old one, I pulled it apart and I looked at some of the electronics and all that, and to be honest, I couldn't fault find it. I don't have a diagram of it. Some of the components are not marked or anything, so I've no idea really. Bottom line, I don't know what I'm looking at then. So I don't know whether it's a triac or whether it's a normal transistor. I have no idea. So anyway, so there's a lot of things overall that are absolutely fantastic. I pointed out to Stoney Creek also that at early stages that the radio itself that's installed here, that's working, no doubt about it. However, when I walked around it and everything else, there seemed to have been a bit of a problem with the radio. It kept losing signal and all that, so I'm thinking, what's going on here? There wasn't one. I thought, oh, maybe it's because of the TV antenna. It's the same antenna, it needs to be powered up. And so I spoke with them about it, and they said, no, it's got a little antenna behind the radio. And I thought, oh, that's a bit poor. I mean, especially when I'm out in the middle of nowhere, maybe I'd like to pick up, you know, ABC or whatever local radio station to keep up to date with whatever is happening out there, especially when you're off the grid, you know. If the possibility is there to receive it, maybe a better antenna. So I said, that's fine, no worries. I will fit a bigger antenna on this, and that's what we're going to do. The radio works, but we only have the front left and the rear left channel. So out of the two speakers, we only have the left channel. So on the FM band, when things are played in stereo, you could be missing a drum, you could be missing anything. I mentioned this before already. So then on a positive note in here, you've got, like I showed earlier, you've got this light here and everything else, and that really brightens it up at night. You've got another light right here, and that also lights up, of course. As you can see, works really well. You've got over there, you got the bed, and yeah, we just come back from a trip, so you'll have to excuse the mattress and everything else. Over there you got the TV, just a standard TV. I really don't need to show you much about it. You've got plenty of cupboard space here and there. You've got your odds and ends here. You've got drawer space. You've got underneath the sink, you've got some space to put your odds and ends, right? Whatever you want. We've got our canned food and spices and everything else in one drawer and all that. So this is sort of our kitchen area, everything else. You got a nice cutting board. You got the sink with a plug. Works really well. We got hot water. Right, our hot water unit is right there. Right, it's still on. Right, so I'm about to turn it off. You hear the click, and that's what happens. You got 240 volt out, and you've got USB ports everywhere. Everywhere. You got USB ports on either side of the bed. You got USB, and you've also got a USB underneath the TV as well. Right? But may I say, you've got no USB outside. Okay. You've got no 12 volt connections. So you don't have your standard camera plugs. You don't have it anywhere, right? Not camera plug, rewind. You don't have your standard 12 volt cigarette lighter plug socket, if you will, anywhere in here. We don't have one. It's all USB. So with all that in mind, like I said, you got no 12 volt anywhere. No 12 volt supply, so you're going to have to put some in. The radio speaker channels, I'm going to fix that up. The radio TV, the radio antenna, I'm going to fix up. TV antenna I already fixed up. Overall, the ease of setting this up is awesome. It takes literally minutes to set it up. Besides the actual clips that I believe should be upside down. I looked at other campers. A friend of mine bought himself a brand new camper, and they're actually literally upside down. And it's like having the shower there in the toilet. Once you've had a shower and then you get one to go to the toilet or whatever, you're standing in water. If the trailer isn't 100% level, it's not going to sink down. So I've got a feeling, even though I had it very close to level, the water was still seeping up, if you will, behind the toilet. Not quite behind, there's no room, but I'm saying like at the back of the toilet. So you were standing in a puddle of water real quick. So I've got a feeling it doesn't slope down properly. I'll still to investigate that, but it doesn't, obviously not enough, because that shouldn't even happen. I think it's pretty well flat instead of sloping down, right? So that's a problem. The other problem we have with the shower is that when you do have a shower, it leaks right through the door. And as you can see here, there's nothing at the bottom of the door, nothing at all. When the water comes in, it runs down the door, right? Because you're having a shower, so the water runs down the door to nowhere except for the outside. So it literally starts to flood this whole area here. And there's no lip or anything. There's a lip on either side of the door, as you can see. Right, there's a lip on either side, but nothing at the bottom. Now you don't want a lip like that, so you want a lip on the door itself to force the water to go down. Right, so you need like a rubber seal or whatever, I'm not too sure yet. Also, when the door is shut, it doesn't quite close the gap. So there's water running in between that as well. So to me, when you spend this kind of money on a camper, to have water leaking into your area where you're sitting or whatever because somebody's having a shower, and all of a sudden, oh shit, I've got to grab towels, I've got to grab this, the water's going everywhere in here. What the heck, people? What were you thinking, Stoney Creek? And we have a lot of storage space. You know, this bed, for instance, comes up and down, so when you're sitting down at the table, you don't have to bang your head, and it goes a fair whack up, right? And you can bring it back down, right? So, and that's a bed with a ladder up here for the little ones, right? And you put it up, right? So you can sit down at the table. The table is movable. You can move the table down, and that becomes. You take these end cushions. You take these end cushions, and then you make that into another bed. So you've got two beds, two single beds, and a queen size bed. Mattress is fairly hard. I sleep okay on it, but I'm thinking I probably want another foam mattress underneath it or whatever, and maybe a mattress topper. I've still got to look at all that. It's a little bit hard, even for me. Even though, don't get me wrong, I've been known to swag it, so I don't mind hard ground. But this is pretty hard. So yeah. Then you got plenty of storage space in here. You've got cupboard space. All over the place. You've got room underneath the seats. Under this seat as well, you've got your water and everything else. You control your tank underneath the bed. You've got your air conditioner, which I haven't discussed as yet. You've got your aircon heating here, right, which doesn't work unless you've got 240 volt. You've got your vents there, right. You've got another vent there. So you've got 3 vents for heating or cooling, with your heating control there, or cooling control, aircon, and then you've got your hot water service that'll work on gas or on 240 volt with some USB chargers and some 240 volt GPOs. Overall, I am very happy with it. It is awesome, it's fantastic. Never thought I'd say this. Used to go camping a long time ago with just a tarp from McEwen's, with the boot lid closed on one end and 2 pegs on the ground, sleeping bag underneath, and that's how I started camping with my Datsun 200p. That's how it all started. So now to get to this level over the years from different campers and all that, now to be able to go and have a shower at night, get into bed, it's actually nice, you know. Yeah, I'm getting old, maybe soft, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, hey, life's short. Thank you very much for watching.